Good afternoon. Hello, millionaires. How you all doing? Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining from, and good evening, depending on where you may be joining from. My name is Oladipo Clement, and I want to welcome you to the Special Millionaire Forum, which by our calendar is takes place on the very first Thursday of every month. At this Special Millionaires Forum, we usually give out, we dole out rewards for some of our top performers, some of the top performers among us. And today happened to be that day. Because this didn't take place last month, we are doing all together this month. And I'm very excited about it because it is proof that what we're sharing is producing results. And the same way it's happening for these people, it can happen for several other people. So I want to welcome you especially. And today, um, I'm starting a series on the five marks of real entrepreneurs. 5 marks of real entrepreneurs. Um, I need to take a bit of time to to begin. Okay, so but let me wait a minute. I hope I can get um, to know who is online right now. Can you please introduce yourself wherever you may be joining from? Introduce yourself and introduce the location you may be joining from. This series is a powerful one, and you really don't want to miss it. If you know anyone who is already in business, they need to listen to this. If you know anyone who someday in the future would go into business, then they need to listen to this particular session. It's going to blow your mind, I tell you the truth. Um, so if you're listening to me right now, if you can hear me loud and clear, can you please introduce yourself and the location from where you're joining us from? So I'm just paying attention to see if I would find any um, any one who would introduce himself or herself. So if you be gracious enough to introduce yourself, that'll be fine. If you can, please do. Please do. It's a powerful day. It's a special day. And by the way, you can join us on YouTube as well. If you are watching on Facebook, fantastic. If you are joining us on YouTube, please remain there. And if you are not yet a subscriber, if you are not following us on all the social medias, you want to do that right away. So welcome and welcome. So on Instagram, you find us at Life Page Global. On Twitter at Life Page Global. On Facebook, our Facebook page is Life Page Global. So just like and then follow, depending on which social media platform you you are on. And then on YouTube, I beg your pardon, on YouTube, you find us at Live Page Group. Live Page Group. Just click on the subscribe button so that every time we have content, you get such notifications from time to time. All right. And then, of course, you can follow me on all the social media platforms as well. Um, at Oladipo Clem, at Oladipo Clem. So instead of writing Clement in full, you eliminate ENT and then you write one word at Oladipo Clem on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Just do that right away so that you can see what we got in offering so that you can get notification from time to time. I'm also on YouTube and I've got some amazing videos that will be shared from time to time. And so you want to follow me on YouTube so that you can get some of those daily content on a weekly basis. So beginning from next week, you start seeing some of those amazing contents and you don't want to miss out. I'm using this style to wait for others to join, right? And while we're doing that, it's also important for me to mention um, one of my life goals. One of them, I have quite a few life goals. Those are major goals in my personal life that I'm pursuing with tenacity and pursuing with dogged commitment. One of such goals I have for my life or in my life is to raise 1,000 multimillionaires, and I aim to achieve this one in particular over the next 5 years. Um, and then the subsequent years will be to consolidate and expand it, and then continue to expand the scope. But the first 5 years is basically to lay the foundation. And part of our commitment, part of the commitment we have made to achieve or actualize this life goal is by setting up what we call the Financial Freedom Masterclass. So if you have not yet registered, or if you are just hearing for the first time, you still have an opportunity to register. Um, there are things that happen in that class that it's difficult to explain. Okay, so a two-day excellent, Pastor Benga. Thank you for joining, sir, from Owe. Thank you for joining, Mr. Francis. Thank you for joining from Ogba. Thank you for joining, sir. We appreciate you. All right, so this class, there's something it does to you that no amount of money can deliver to you. And that's pretty much why you need to attend. Wealth has its foundation on the quality of your thinking. The rich and the poor think differently. And what separates the rich and the poor is the way they think. Simply put, the way they think is what separates the poor and the rich. And it's the same quality of mind that a rich man has in Nigeria that they have in America. The same thinking that a poor man has in Nigeria is the same one. So location does not change the way a person thinks necessarily. Geography is not a key factor. So, and that's what we concentrate on in the first module. The program, the Financial Freedom Masterclass, is a 2-day intensive class that is highly subsidized, considering the value that we are giving out. My attention was drawn to a recent argument on our post regarding the Financial Freedom Masterclass. And I just chose to keep quiet because, when you have been in a situation where somebody is before, you can sympathize so easily. Poverty is a bastard. Poverty is deadly. I tell you the truth. The way it messes up people's thinking, messes up your mind. For anybody who is listening to me or who has been a part of our program or the master class in particular, you will testify. You can tell that, sorry, this is not what is sustaining me. That's not what is building my life. I've always believed that um, that individual wealth is not a bad idea. Individual wealth is good, but community or national wealth is better. So, and if you have found something that can be of benefit to your fellow man, why wouldn't we want to share? All right, why wouldn't you want to disseminate that same information? And that's pretty much what the masterclass will do for you. So it will tackle the foundation for wealth, and then we'll begin to build on it and build on it. So there are 3 key modules. The first one is on being. Who you are determines what you do, and what you do determines what you achieve, right? So, and that's pretty much the way we've structured the master class. So you really don't want to miss it. If you have not yet registered, or you know someone who should register, that's a class. Money will not make you rich. It's your quality of thinking. I know what I'm talking to you about. And then let me say this: if the amount we are charging is too big for you, or you feel that then you are probably not the right person who should sign up for that class. But if you see it and you don't have the cash right now, then don't worry, your time will come, and you'll be able to participate in that. So I welcome you once again to Financial Freedom Masterclass. Oh, by the way, I beg your pardon, I'm already in my Financial Freedom Masterclass. It's something that is burning in my heart, and tomorrow is going to be hot. Tomorrow and next tomorrow is going to be hot. So if you have not registered, just go on the platform and register. You can call this number right away if you want to know more or get the registration link. You can as well go on my website, www.oladipoclement.com, to register, or you call this number 0708 797 0441. 0708 797 0441. I've realized that when people pay, they pay attention. Every year I pay millions on coaching, on personal development. And I know the sacrifice. I've been awake today now since past 2. And somebody who doesn't understand the sacrifice that's going to some of the work we do will sit down and think that some people are just fortunate and some people are just lucky. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of denial. There's a lot of postponed gratification that comes along with many of the things that we do. Go and show me any truly successful person. Even those who are doing it crookedly are doing it, are disciplined and are focused. They've embraced some key qualities, of successful people, across the globe. So, I mean, so that's just pretty much what it is. You want to be a part of the Financial Freedom Masterclass. You want to be among the multi-millionaires we plan to raise over the next 5 years. Then that's the class you need to join. That's the class you need to join. There's nobody that has joined that class and will not tell you that, sorry, that class made a difference in their lives. There's no one. And I make a boast to that, to say that, sorry, if you attend that class and you do not derive any value, will refund your money. That's to tell you that it's not the money, it's just to sift on serious-minded people out of that class. So that's pretty much what it is. If you attend that class, you participate in that class, and you do not derive any value, you feel it's a waste of your time and waste of resources, call us and we'll refund your money. That's how serious it is. That's how valuable it is. That's the money back guarantee that comes with the class. Apart from the fact that you are attending the class, it's a 2-day session. You have custom built solutions, custom built question and answer session. And then you also enjoy 1 year free. You belong to a coaching community that is free of charge, all for 1 full year. I mean, there's nowhere. I'm not even paying for coaching for that cheap. So anybody in the coaching industry can tell you for a fact that nobody is charging me that amount. So, but if you still feel like it's too expensive, it's not for you. I'm not really apologetic about it. I give out 7 of my books, all for free. It's part of the package you get on a monthly basis. On a weekly basis, I give charge, and then you also have access to me to get coaching and get counsel on different aspects of life, especially as it relates to your finance or business. All right, so it's going to be an amazing one if you decide to join, and you won't regret being a part of it. You won't regret being a part of it. Yeah. So let's get into the class. We want to look today. So all our friends joining and watching from YouTube, I salute you and I welcome you. To all our friends joining from on Facebook, I salute you and I celebrate you. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. So let's get in. Let's get in. Man, let's get in. Let's dive in. All right. So all right. So today we're looking at 5 marks of real entrepreneurs, and I'm breaking it into 2 series, into 2 parts, so that we'll be able to digest whatever we are able to cover today, and then we'll complete the rest next week. Now, the marketplace is becoming highly competitive, and the days when people are hired just on the basis of professional skills alone are gradually fading out. So these days, even to succeed as a professional or even as a career person, you need to start to think like the owner of the business you work in. That's what will give you edge. That's what will give you advantage. The tides are changing. The times are changing so rapidly that even developed nations are reviewing how they will approach things. Just this morning, I came across a particular article, of a particular bridge that was built in 1996 in Honduras. Honduras is in South America, and this particular city where the bridge was built is such a city that is prone to natural disaster, hurricane, all kinds of natural disaster. And they built this bridge over a river, and this bridge was built by a Japanese construction company, and it was built, so it was solid and everything was perfect. And Soon after that, some time later, I think about 7 years or so after that period it was built, there was another major natural disaster that killed about 7,000 people. But that's not where the story ends. Um, the everything on the path of that wind on the part of that tsunami, was cleared out. Um, but the bridge still remained to tell you how solidly, how how built to last the bridge was. Um, but something fundamental happened. This bridge was built over a river, but the river soon changed its course, and the road that leads to the bridge and that continues with the bridge was nowhere to be found because it was completely erased by that crisis. Um, Now the bridge is still standing firmly, but standing over nothing and going nowhere. And the interesting thing, that bridge, now, even though that appeared to me like a true story, it's also a metaphor for the changing times that we live in. The rate at which things are changing so rapidly these days is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And so the author of that article said something very profound. He said, the most popular mantra is that you build to last. He said, but now it's built to adapt, build to adapt to change, build to adapt to the over, the complexities, of life. That's pretty much what the author of the article articulated, using the story, the particular true life story, as a metaphor for our careers, for our businesses, for our lives, for our families. The way you used to do things is no longer the way things would continue to be, right? So it's not a bad idea to build to last, but the superior concept that I should embrace is build to adapt, and adapt to change, and prepare for change, prepare before it even catches up with you. So, and that's pretty much what we are faced with today. And there are many professionals who are very good on their jobs, but they are out of jobs now, right? There are people who are highly skilled, highly skilled, but because they lack what we want to talk about today, they could still be out of job if care is not taken. In fact, no matter your level of skills now, there are softwares, there are platforms, there are applications that are gradually replacing human beings. So you will realize that what will give you an edge are some of the things we'll be looking at in the next couple of days. So you need to start to think, even if you are a professional and you are a career person, you need to start possessing the mindset of a business owner. That's what will give you an edge in the world, in the marketplace, in the workplace of today. Very, very key. So that you start to think, how will the CEO, how will the founder of this business operate? How will he treat the matter and do even better, right? Given your professional prowess and professional skills, all right? This is very important. Then that mindset is what prepares you for, especially for those of us, for those of you who want to go into business later in the future. That type of mindset is what ultimately prepares you the most for the ultimate switch into the world of business and entrepreneurship. So a lot of people who have made that switch without, possessing these attributes have suffered a major wreck. Have suffered major wreck. I tell you. So let's dive in deeper. And that's why I always say that you don't start a business to qualify as an entrepreneur, right? You become an entrepreneur in order to start a business. I've said it time and again. You don't start a business to qualify as an entrepreneur. So, what makes you an entrepreneur is not because you are a CEO, it's not because you started a business. What makes you an entrepreneur is, sorry, what enables you to start a business is becoming an entrepreneur. And that's very, very, very important takeaway for today. You don't start a business to qualify as an entrepreneur. Rather, you become an entrepreneur to start or run a business. So very, very important, extremely important. So let's quickly get into some very important thoughts. Now, there are two broad types of entrepreneurs that exist, and these are my concepts. I didn't find it somewhere. So these are some of my concepts, right? So the first type and category of entrepreneurs you will find are intrapreneurs. And this is a popular concept already, all right? So, but I've coined another one, and I'm going to explain that very quickly. So, intrapreneurs, these are people who, by reason of the value they add to the organization they work, have become shareholders, they become part owners, they become stockholders, and hence share in the risk and profit of that business. Now, entrepreneurs, by definition, could be regarded as entrepreneurial employees, but they are a different species of employees. These are people who, by reason of their contribution, by reason of their input in certain businesses, they determine their own profit is determined by their contribution to the division is determined. And I've been in this. That was what prepared me the most. I say it to people all the time. If I'm still going to go to Harvard, no doubt, but if I had been to Harvard, it would not have prepared me like this prepared me for the world of business. I tell you the truth. The first organization I had the opportunity to work in as an intrapreneur was the place I worked for 7 years, 4 months, and it enlarged my capacity. It strengthened my discipline. It strengthened my thought process. It helped me to see from the angle of the owner, not from the angle of a consumer, or not a angle from the angle of an employee. So I thought differently. And many of my guys, many of my colleagues, who also embraced, who also possess the same mindset, have all gone on to do amazing things, are doing amazing things today. All right. So this is very, very important. Intrapreneur. So you don't need to start a business to even become an entrepreneur. So really, you have the fantastic opportunity to actually experiment, with another person's business. I wouldn't go much into that. Maybe sometime later, I will go into the anatomy of an entrepreneur, and then we will understand some other deeper truths. And I'm very certain that will also come up in my amazing book, Winning in Business. It's going to be a book that will catalog my story, my entrepreneurial journey, and most of the things, pitfalls, things I've done right, things I didn't do right, lessons learned, and then the future of business and all of that. And that book is going to be amazing. And I mean, it's a work in progress. So please just watch out for the book, because if you want to go into business, these are some of the materials you will need to really do well when it comes to the world of business. The second category of entrepreneurs are interpreneurs. So note my word, INTER, not ENTRE, right? So INTER. Now listen to this carefully. This type of entrepreneurs are the people who, by reason of their vision and courage, have founded a business or businesses that create such opportunities and platforms for entrepreneurs to find their place and thrive as well. I will repeat that again. Entrepreneurs are people who, by reason of their vision and courage, have founded business or businesses that create such opportunities or platforms for entrepreneurs to find their place and thrive as well. That is entrepreneur. And that's very important that you notice. So there is a synergy between inter and intra. And that's what you find there. So the inter usually are very attracted or attractive to intrapreneurs, and vice versa. So people who give me opportunity to hone my skills, people who give me opportunity, who give my voice, who give me a voice, who give me opportunity to express my gifts, my talents unhindered, who help me to have a say, those are entrepreneurs. Those are entrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs. So it's good that we understand these very, very clearly. The next thing again you want to note is that another very important one that you want to quickly understand, the different shades of entrepreneurs are infopreneurs. 1 minute, please. My sincere apologies, please. All right, so we've looked at the two categories of entrepreneurs. Let's quickly look at different shapes of entrepreneurs. This is important for what we're looking at. The first one here is infopreneurs. These are basically entrepreneurs in the information business. And then we have agropreneurs. These are entrepreneurs in the agric business. We have techpreneurs. These are entrepreneurs in the technology business. And then we have edupreneurs. Edupreneurs, these are entrepreneurs in the education business. We've got mediapreneurs. These are entrepreneurs in the media and communication business. We have investpreneurs. These are entrepreneurs who are in the business of investment, basically. All right. And then we have proppreneurs. These are different shades. All right. It's just semantics. It just coining, mixing words together. Okay. Looking for syllables and then adding them together to form a concept around entrepreneurship. All right. And then you have proppreneurs. These are basically entrepreneurs in the property or real estate business. Then we also have socialpreneurs. These are entrepreneurs in the social enterprise, all right? And then the list goes on and on. And you can also create your own, all right? You can create your own. So there are people who have made an amazing shift, and there are people who have made a wreck of that switch just because they were not adequately prepared and they do not possess those attributes that make the entrepreneur tick. And I'm speaking from the point of experience. We launched out into our business without a dime. And I mean no words. Anybody who knows the story know where we started from. We started in a shared office because we couldn't even afford to rent a place. All we had was just a 3-in-1 printer, a DexJet printer. And those who know the story know the story. So it's not fake, it's genuine, it's true story. We had a laptop I'd been using for like 5 years. And of course, the other things that we had, that were not physical, was integrity. We had some of the attributes I'm going to be talking to you about. And that's pretty much what led us to where we are today. And if you can develop the same attributes, if you can begin to pay attention to these attributes I'm talking to you about, I'm serious, you would never regret it. Never regret making embracing these marks. All right, so let's quickly take a look at the following marks. I'll try and touch on just one so that we can dive into the ceremony of today. I'm so excited about it. I'm really so excited about it. The first mark of a real entrepreneur. So everybody's an entrepreneur. What makes you an entrepreneur is not that you have a complimentary card. What makes you an entrepreneur is not because you have lettered paper. It's not because you have an incorporated company. No, any fool can register a company. Any fool can print complimentary card and put CEO. CEO title is not what makes you. Position is not what official position is not what makes you an entrepreneur. What makes you an entrepreneur are these exact things I want to share with you. And you can possess it while working, or you can hone that trait while working, under someone, especially someone who is also a real entrepreneur. Because when you work in a structured organization, you will learn order, you will learn systems, you will learn, structure, you will learn all of that. But when you work with a real entrepreneur, you will contact the spirit of entrepreneurship, and that's the beauty of it. So that's the beauty of it. So if you start out with structure, and you now work with an entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur who possess these attributes, I tell you the truth, you are got the best tools. You've got the best of experience to help you succeed in the world of business. All right, so let's proceed. So the first mark of entrepreneur, and in no particular order, just starting with this, not because it's most important or less important, just in no particular order, is eye for opportunity. Eye for opportunity. Eye for opportunity. You have heard it said before that eyes that look are many, but eyes that see are very few. Eyes that look are many, but eyes that see are few. Now, every successful business fly or ride on the wings of opportunities. I know what I'm talking about. I remembered when we started out. In fact, it's not like I've not been in the real estate space or I have not been participating indirectly. I have. But at this material time, I just went to see a friend, who just mentioned an offer, an opportunity to me. And I said, wow. And that was all I needed. That was all I needed. How we were going to get the resources, everything else, I just knew that wherever your mind goes, that's where your body follows. I mean, that's where your body goes to. So wherever your mind goes to, your body eventually has no other choice but to go there. So once the decision was made, and I mean, that was the beginning of the story. That was the beginning of the story. That was the beginning of this entrepreneurial journey. And it's been full of uncertainties. It's been full of, we've experienced good, the bad, the ugly. We've had all our fair share of everything that could go worse, everything that could be troublesome, everything that could, go wrong. We've experienced all of that. But eye for opportunity. And listen to me carefully. That eye for opportunity is something that is not really taught in school. It's not taught in school. Yeah. That's not to say you shouldn't go to school. That's not to say you shouldn't go to further your studies. But eye for opportunity is something that's more instinctive. I beg your pardon. It's more, how do I describe this now? Well, let's see how far we go, because as I progress, I'll begin to show you some key things. Some opportunities will come for you. You are not the one that will go to them. And on that, you ride, and then you begin to build other things. And then other ones will come. You will look at it, and then something will tell you, no, hit it now. This is it. Don't waste time. And that's it. And somehow, that's why I say it's instinctive. It's more a function of your gut feeling. So it's not something that you organize. Most of such opportunities are not things you organize yourself. Sometimes you may be looking for something else and something else shows up. And usually that's the way many of the businesses we've been privileged to start happen. That's the way it happened. I wasn't looking for it. Sometimes just something just occurs to me. I say, wait, let me call this person. And I call, and then something happens afterward. That's the way it has always happened. All right. So every successful business you know today, big or small, MSME, SME, big business, blue chip, multinational, all ride on the wings of opportunities. If you don't know how to identify or create one, you will struggle if you ever start business. I tell you the truth. If you don't know how to create an opportunity or identify existing ones, then you will struggle if you ever start or run a business. So it's so important. It's so important. The same way journalists sniff news, that's the exact same way that entrepreneurs sniff opportunities. That's the same way they sniff opportunities. So you need to develop these if you really want to do well in your business, especially for those of you who already are in business. That you started a business on a particular track doesn't mean that's the way you must continue. Let me tell you this. Your vision will have to remain the same, but your product can change. The nature, the type, the packaging, the presentation of your product will change as time evolves, because products should change in alignment with the needs of the consumers. So what should even inform your product should be the needs of the people you are trying to target. So this is very important. So you need to note that. Another very important thing that will help enhance, your ability to recognize opportunities is complaints. When you see people complain, when you see people murmur, when you see people worry, express anxiety, groan, people ease, all of those things are signal to the gap that requires to be bridged. Every complaint, every murmur or murmurings or groanings or wailings, as the case may be, are all signals, are all pointers to a gap that requires to be bridged, that requires to be met, that needs to be taken care of. This is so important. Complaints are signals for opportunities. Complaints are signals for opportunities. Complaints are signals for opportunities. You don't want to joke with that. And to wrap up on this, let me state that what you see, note this carefully, what you see and how you see it are two different things. What you see and how you see it are totally different things altogether. So what you see is perception. How you see it is perspective. And your perspective of a situation is often colored by your experiences, colored by your, prejudices, your tribe, your culture, and all of those things. So your upbringing, the environment you grew up, or your environment you are most familiar with, all of those things is what colors your perspective. And so if you put on a green shade of glass or glasses, even if the sky is blue, what you will see is green. If you put on blue, if you put on red, everything around you become red. And that's what color. So what you say it is not necessarily, it's just your viewpoint, and it is colored based on your perspectives, based on your experiences, based on your, and all of that. So you want to work on that psyche. You want to work on the way you think. You want to work on that. You want to begin to see obstacles as opportunities. Because listen, opportunities always comes in overall. They come disguised as problems. So if opportunities come as opportunities, everybody will be rich. Everybody will be able to spot it and embrace it. But it comes disguised as problems. It comes disguised as an issue, as a crisis. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So this is very important. So you need to work on looking beyond what is said. That's why I love reading biographies. One of those amazing stories I've read about is the story of Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, the largest retail store on planet Earth. Even though there are statistics now saying that most of the tech companies are more valuable in terms of market capitalization, far more valuable now than all those physical stores and all of that. But that's by the way. The key thing here is that this man by name Sam Walton had high for opportunity, such that he learned from even people who are smaller in size compared to him, in terms of the size of their businesses. The story was told in the book Walmart Way, the Walmart Way, that when the author of that book, former CEO of Walmart, was the one that wrote that book and chronicled how Sam Walton looks at opportunity, looks at situations. He said even if it goes to a smaller store, he will cite something that they need to fix in their own company. He will see things that they are not doing right and say, let us go and get this done. He said on one particular occasion, they visited the place and cited, he cited the type of shelf, wooden shelf that was in that store, and said, no, that we need to replace all our own. And that was it. That's to tell you how they recognize things and say, they pick from just about anything. They learn from fools. They learn from the wise. They learn from fools. They learn from the wise. So this is very important. So you want to work on your perspective. This will help you a great deal. And one of the things that will enhance that is your relationship with people who are ahead of you. Mentorship will help you. Sometimes I used to wonder, how was my mentor thinking? How does he think? That was what I focused on. How does he think? And I've been privileged to now relate with quite a number of mentors, that are doing phenomenal things. But those days, I had just this, my mentor, and it's still a huge blessing to me. One thing that characterized his life that still remains an amazement to me till today is the fact that how does he do all these things? But by the time I was able to hack into his way of thinking, his perspective to issues, it changed my life, literally. And that's pretty much what is responsible for where I am today. I was still having a conversation with a mentor recently, another mentor of mine, and then he was telling me, start thinking billions. And I said, I'm already, that's where I am. I said, okay, good. Since that is already done, this is how you should now begin to think. So the first thing mentorship would do to you is to change your type of thinking. Is to change the way you think. So this is very, very important. It will help you to see things differently. That's why real mentors will not give you money. The first thing they will give you is the way you think. That's what they want to. That's what they want to troubleshoot. Period. So your ability to see opportunities will be determined by how you see, and that's what I was saying all along. So the question you want to ask yourself now is, what's the lens with which you see people and life in general? What's the lens with which you see people and life in general? You need to begin to ask yourself, do you look at people with prejudices? When you see successful people, do you feel some level of hate? Do you feel they are thieves? How do you see them? Sometimes because of what we have been through, it colors our viewpoints. It colors our interpretation of life. And for the most part, it's erroneous. Some of the people you said are arrogant. You don't have a relationship with them. So don't conclude. Don't draw such conclusions. So we need to begin to look at things so differently, and then you'll be able to do well as an entrepreneur. I believe you've been able to derive some value from what I shared today. So if you're listening to me right now, please pay attention to this. If you're listening to me right now, or you may know someone who fits into this description I want to share now, please let them follow these instructions. The first one is, if you or someone you know fits this description, number one is you are entrepreneurial and industrious. Whether you are male or female, whether you are single or married, but you are 30 and below. Mind you, if you are older than that, don't bother to respond to this. If you are 30 and below and you are graduates with a minimum of 2-1 from any university anywhere in the world, but you also possess, at least you possess international passport and have traveled outside Africa, not just Africa. You can drive and you have valid driver's license. All this I'm telling you now are very crucial and very important for those of you who are watching right now, and those of you who probably will watch it later. And you will love to work with an organization where you will have a voice, and your gifts, talents, and skills will find real expression, and your industry focus, your industry interest fall within the following: 1, investment, real estate, technology, agriculture, education, and multimedia. It may be one or multiple, 1 or 2 of all of the things I just mentioned. Then it's something you need to apply for. So send in your application if you fit into this description, or you know someone who fits into this description. Send your application and send your CV with the subject. So like I described the various shades of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs. So there's agropreneur, there's techpreneur, there's infopreneur, there's socialpreneur, all kinds of preneur. The point is, use that as this is the last time we'll make this announcement, and we will not make the announcement again. So it's not an announcement that we'll be making. So it's not an announcement. I'm just using this platform as a platform. Since I just spoke about it, I'm extending that opportunity to anyone who fits into that description and is passionate enough to send the application. So so you send that application and CV with the subject as either agropreneur or techpreneur, depending on which one, depending on your own area of specialization. Send that and send it to CEO@lifepagegroup.com. CEO@lifepagegroup.com. This opportunity closes by August 31st, 2020. Now, August 31st, 2020, no calling, no discussion about it. Just send a mail, send an application, and send your CV. If you fit into that description. If you don't, please don't worry. Your opportunity will come. So I want to thank you all once again for joining me, and we'll continue next week on that. Over to you, Mr. Okwe, so that we can take we can now have our session for the gifts and all of that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That was an awesome section. I believe I'm loud and clear. Am I loud and clear? Okay,
Yes, I
okay,
can hear
okay.
you
I
loud and
believe
clear.
I'm loud and clear. Yes, yes, yes. I believe everybody else too can hear me. So thank you very much. I want you all to appreciate our CEO right now. Let's thank him for another section. Awesome, 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 awesome section. Yeah, the true hallmark of an entrepreneur. That's what we've learned. So some of you might be wondering, what are all these gifts at my back for? Okay, some powerful people are going with all these gifts today. Yeah, some powerful people are going with all these gifts today. So we have a couple of people that are here that we are going to be awarding various forms of gifts. I think we have about 6 of them today. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch up with all of them because some are still going to join us shortly. So in the month of every month, there's something that we do. We call it the MSR and the NLR. That's the monthly leadership bonus, reward rather, and the monthly sales reward. What does this really mean? What it meant is that for those that have proven themselves top 3 sales performer in every month and top leadership every month. So we give them reward on a monthly basis. So today we are rewarding for the month of June and July. We couldn't hold this July, so we are combining 2 months together. So I'm going to be calling their name and I'm going to be calling their gift. So as I call their name, they will step forward to receive their gift. So this could be you. Probably you are joining, you are wondering, you are watching us right now, you are wondering, how can I join this team? How can I mean, I want to be going home with powerful gifts. We have a refrigerator, we have TV, we have gas cooker, we have screen generator. We have powerful gifts we have here. So I'm going to be calling on, the first person is going to be going home with a 32 inches TV. That's the person of Mrs. Bello Ogumbo. Please, wherever you are, just jam your hands together for her, please. Let's jam our hands together for her. Wherever as you are watching on the screen, just jam your hands together for her. Please step forward, ma. Step forward, step forward. So please, she's going to come, so that I can see you. Please. Congratulations, ma. Congratulations.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, she's going home with a 32 inches LED smart TV. Congratulations, ma. Congratulations, ma. Ma'am, you are blocking our. Okay, yes. You are live streaming. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And she joined us. I mean, when did you join?
I believe I joined in about June.
June. Wow. Congratulations. Let's celebrate her. Wow. Okay. So that is Mrs. Bello, very powerful section that we just had there. So another person that is going to be joining us, that we are rewarding this afternoon, is one of our account department person. This person will need assistance because what she's going home with is quite powerful. In person of Mr. Adebayo Mohammed. Please, let's give our hands together for. Yeah, congratulations. You see, he's going home with. He's going home with a generator. He's going home with a a Maxi gas cooker, and he's also going home with 32 inches. Let's put our hands together. So let me do the presentation of the video. You can't carry the generator, so so congratulations. Who is snapping us now? Okay. Now, so that somebody will snap you. Clap if you are watching us online now, so that somebody too will clap for you. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you. So don't be deceived. TV is not the only thing taking away. So congratulations. Thank you very much. So is anybody representing Mr. Francis here? He's not around yet. Wow. What about Mrs. Pamoroti? She's not around too. Wow. Okay, Bobby, we are still expecting them. I hope they come before we finish this session. Okay. So the next person we have here is our head of finance, but is not available right now. He's not available right now. So he's going to be represented by Mr. Peter Adesoya. Mr. Peter Adesoya. He's going home with a deep freezer. Please, no. That's the camera on the tripod. So just control the tripod so that you can see what the person is going home with. Okay, is it showing now? Okay, so he's going home with a deep freezer. Congratulations. Wow, congratulations. So Mr. Deshola, hope you can see the deep freezer. It's sign and deliver. Okay, congratulations. Okay, we have, in absentia, we have to do this in absentia. Mrs. Pamoroti. Mrs. Pamoroti is going home with a washing machine, but she's not available right now. She's going home with a washing machine. And Mr. Francis Ajilore is going home with a 43 inches LED smart TV and also with refrigerator. So, yeah, there's Mr. Francis too. Wow. Okay, yeah, come this way, please. So, congratulations.
Wow.
So, Mr. Francis is going home with this on behalf of Mr. Francis. Okay.
Thank you, Lightspeed.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate you all. So couple of announcements before we leave today. So for those of you that are wondering how can I be part of this, all you need to do is to join us, join this winning team. So by this time September it could be you. So for you to join us, just log on to tribes.lifefaithgroup.com. Tribes.lifefaithgroup.com. Fill up the form and every other thing. Then we'll take it up from there. Or contact the person that invited you for this section. So contact the person that invited you for this section. Then the person will be able to guide you. So a couple of announcements. I have 2 or 3 announcements here before we go. So number one is that the Zooms, the chat with the CEO that we've been having for a couple of months now, we've repackaged it to the Zoom series. So in case you have any prospect, you want them to know more about the Million Homes investment, you want them to know more about the Orange Apartment investment, so let them join the Zoom series every Tuesday by 7 p.m. and every Saturday by 7 p.m. So invite them. So the link is available. Send it as broadcast. Let them just click on the link so they'll be able to join the Zoom series every Tuesday by 7 p.m. and every Saturday by 7 p.m. You can join, learn more, and any of your prospects who can join. And for Orange Apartment for site inspection, for the purpose of site inspection, make sure you call this number 09060005747, and make sure you save that number too to be able to get every of our broadcasts 09060005737. Call either of this number and somebody will attend to you. Or if you're probably watching from outside the country, you can send us an email, and those 2 numbers to our WhatsApp at Find Us. Send us email at findus@lifestagegroup.com. And within 24 hours, somebody will attend to your email. So for Orange Apartment site inspection, send a message, just give us 48 hours, we'll take you for site inspection. So the Orange Apartment is selling very, 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 very fast. 1-bedroom apartment is sold out already, and the delivery day remains 1st of October. The delivery date is the 1st of October. So it's going to be a powerful day that day. We are doing dedication. We are launching the project. And the first set of people that have completed their payment, we are doing handover of keys to them on that same very day. So take as many people as possible. Let them come and see the project. So thank you very, very much for this. So we'll see you on Saturday at the Zoom series. Thank you very much and have a great and wonderful day.